pray for our court, but demand accountability from our politicians who refuse to protect the court and are attacking the rule of law in the way that frankly, the communist revolutionaries operate and have operated since they've came onto the scene, over 100 years ago. First up is the current crisis, which is the left's assault on the Supreme Court that potentially is deadly. You recall that I believe leftists leaked it. We don't know for sure since they haven't figured it out yet. Leaked an opinion, a draft opinion, that if held up by the majority of the court would overturn Roe versus Wade and allow the states to extend the right to life to unborn human beings. So the left went crazy. I'm convinced the Biden White House and Democrats in Congress were in on the leak in some fashion. And sure enough, the culture of death, as I called it, on the left, started targeting and harassing the Supreme Court. The danger of a leak like that, especially in a sensitive case, is that it incentivizes people to try to kill justices. Because unless the opinion is finalized, it's still nothing. So if you have a 5-4 decision, for instance, attacking one of the justices or incapacitating or killing them could result in the decision being changed or the outcome being changed. And so the left started protesting outside the homes of Supreme Court justices in violation of federal law. Federal law prohibits individuals from protesting and trying to pressure federal court judges and justices on matters before the court. Obviously, it's an intimidation campaign in violation of the law. Now, Garland's Justice Department has refused to enforce the law in that regard. The Biden White House has encouraged these protests outside of the homes of justices, even though they're illegal, intimidatory, and carry with them the air of violence. And just this week, it turns out that a disturbed individual came all the way from California to Maryland to where Justice Kavanaugh lives with a gun and other equipment to try to kill Kavanaugh. And he was also planning suicide. Now, thankfully, the police stopped it because the guy said, look, I want to kill Kavanaugh. He called police on himself. He was suicidal. And if there wasn't security outside of Kavanaugh's home initially, who knows what would have happened. So we had this intimidation campaign, this attack on the Supreme Court, and sure enough, surely as night follows day, you had a attempted assassination of a Supreme Court justice. Now, what should be done? Obviously, those who continue to protest outside the homes of the Supreme Court justices should be arrested. It's not enough to provide security. And those of us here in D.C., these justices are our neighbors. And just don't think if you're a leftist, oh, don't worry about it. Those are only those nasty conservatives that need to be concerned about. Oh, no, all justices should be nervous about this. And if I were the court, again, I would release immediately the majority opinion, which evidently is still the majority opinion, and just get it out there to take this deadly pressure off the sitting justices. Because as I said, if you kill one of these justices or they die in an untimely way, the final result can be changed, and that is a perverse and dangerous incentive. Also, the court should release and update the American people on its investigation. What's going on? Are justices cooperating with it? Are clerks cooperating with it? Now, internally, supposedly internally, the Supreme Court is investigating this. I think it's the clerk of the court or the marshal of the court, excuse me, was tasked by Chief Justice Roberts with investigating this. Now, that's kind of a politicized investigation in the sense that, I don't mean it in the traditional way, but in the kind of the core issue, is that, the Chief Justice doesn't have power in the traditional sense that you might think that flows from his title. He is the first among equals on the court. So the other justices may not want to cooperate, or clerks I don't know what the legal process is to require their cooperation or other court personnel. What's going on there? So, I mean, we've had hearings this week. The kangaroo court put on by the Pelosi rump operation, the rump 1-6 operation, is talking about the attack on democracy and sedition and all of that in their really continued impeachment effort against Trump and all of his supporters. And in the meantime, we have this coordinated effort to attack the Supreme Court of the United States, one of our 3 branches of government. And it's not only attacking the court, it's obviously attacking our constitutional system and our constitutional republic. And it's ongoing, and it's being endorsed by the Biden administration. The Justice Department is complicit in refusing to enforce the law that would protect these justices. And even the Senate, I think they passed 100-0, a bill that would increase the security and expand security protections to the family of Supreme Court justices, the families of Supreme Court justices, because they typically aren't covered. And Nancy Pelosi's House has refused to move on it. It's been weeks. So these are dangerous times. Now, Judicial Watch is conducting independent investigations, but we're afraid what's going to happen in the meantime. This is a law enforcement issue. My understanding is, based on a report, I think it was the Washington Post that reported, after this guy called the police on himself, it took the police 7 minutes to get to him. Who knows what could have happened in that 7 minutes? Kavanaugh's family was reportedly at home when the guy showed up outside of his house with a bag full of equipment, including a weapon, to try to kill him. So these are dangerous times for our republic. And of course, there are going to be other big opinions coming down from the court, including an opinion on Second Amendment issues that most observers expect to expand Second Amendment protections, opinions on religious rights issues that are also going to be controversial. Who knows? Also, there's expected opinions on race-based admission policies in Harvard and such. Judicial Watch has amicus filings there, friend of court brief filings there. So the left has lots of reasons to be agitated, and now the court is under attack in a way that's never been under attack in modern history. And I encourage you to write letters to the editor, communicate with your members of Congress specifically about the security issues, demand investigations by Congress into this leak and into the Justice Department's failure to protect the justices. And we should just be pushing this issue in a dramatic way because the stakes are so high for the future of our great nation. Now, on the other hand, however upsetting these attacks are, the likelihood is that the Supreme Court will overturn Roe versus Wade, barring some outrageous attack on the court or something odd happening. So despite this terrible attack on the court, the good news remains that it is likely that the court is still going to overturn Roe versus Wade. And if that happens, it will be a dramatic day and go down in history in a positive way for the American nation, because the states, once again, will be able to pass laws that will provide protections and provide the right to life to unborn human beings who are subjected to being killed as a result of the abortion culture of death that the court has previously illicitly and unconstitutionally imposed on the nation. And that could be upended, and it's likely to be upended. And what a day that will be, because millions of lives will begin to be saved. And so these are dangerous times, but also potentially glorious times for our Republican virtues that mean that the right to life of individuals are to be protected. So Judicial Watch obviously has been involved in this case. We filed briefs and such. So pray for our court, but demand accountability from our politicians who refuse to protect the court and are attacking the rule of law in the way that frankly, the communist revolutionaries operate and have operated since they've came onto the scene over 100 years ago. And of course, the leftist revolution approach to using violence to get their ways politically has been around for centuries. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.